So it was the end of 2017, and I started to have these visions of a retreat property. My wife Amy and I, we were just getting to a point where in a couple years we would be empty nesters, and I'm looking to downsize, and here God's giving me something that is to increase what we have to take care of. And so I kind of kept pushing it aside. But prior to 2020, just before the world shut down, I went off on a retreat to pray about what God really wanted me to do, because I could not put away this retreat property that kept coming up in my mind, and the desire of who God was calling us to be as servants.
Anytime he goes on a silent retreat, he comes back with some God-inspired idea. And this one was, we're gonna open a retreat property. And after working with Greg for the last 13 years, I was like, sounds about right.
Initially, when Greg said that he had this dream, he said it once and then we didn't really hear much about it. So I thought it was just that, it was a dream. Hey, we opened a retreat center, it was pretty cool. But then when he said, I have an appointment with a real estate agent and she's gonna help us find some property. And then I was like, oh wait, this is real, we're doing this?
We looked at just property with nothing on it. We looked at places that had houses. We looked at many of the different acres and varieties. And when we got here to Trilogy, it was just it was a single family home. And when I walked in, I felt such a sense of peace that I knew that this was where God wanted us to be.
A lot of times when God has plans for us in our lives, what we have found as a couple is that the initial reaction is, what? Then you sit with it for a little bit and you pray about it a little bit, and then you're like, all right. And so it's like getting on a roller coaster and you go, all right, I'm in, let's go, let's see where we're gonna go with this.
And so we fought for it and we went after it, and God put all the pieces in place. And here we were a year and a half later after that intense process started, and we now owned what was and is known as Trilogy. A beautiful 24-acre property with a swimming pool, a lake, 5 different guest rooms, a place where people can have their own living quarters, or maybe walk our half-mile prayer path, whatever it might be. Is it hard work and is it different? Yeah, it's very different for us, but the encounters that we've been able to have with guests, and even going back to, the very first guest that we have, and watching them come here on a Friday and leave on a Sunday completely different. And then them saying the simple phrase like, I feel that I can go home now because I got everything that I came here to get. And I'm satisfied and my heart is full. To me, that makes everything that we do as a ministry worth it. And it makes all the hard work that goes into our love and care of the property one of the most joyful things we can experience.